And they're off, and in the lead is the Prussian Jaegers, followed closely behind by the line infantry, and in the back, as always, is me, Pure 230688, aka BW Angelos. You just saw my line infantry competing for the 100 meter sprint by the looks of that. That wasn't in fast forward for some reason. Anyway, okay, so today I will be bringing you my Tourney videos for the tourney I was in with Ailerons, Raldsens and Said. Said's with me in this one. We're both playing as Prussia. Our opponents are the Patriots, playing as Great Britain and America. Okay, these will be another highlight reel. I'll show you the highlights of this battle, which will be the opening segments, and then straight on to the second battle. Okay, so I take the wood and rush it, but I get shot because I put my skirmishers on either flank and I have to mass them in the middle. So yeah, when I pull my right side skirmishers in and they're in boxes, so I don't get the light inf glitch, they get shot. It's no worries though, I was prepared for that and I'm not too bothered. I didn't expect to win the skirmisher fight. Okay, now on the other flank I swing my 4 second hussars and my garde du corps round. I do a fakey attack on the goons, because he's got light dragoons, and I lose 8 men, but it allows my garde du corps to smash straight into them without being shot in the face. I then swing my light cav round, and then I make menacing, threatening attacks on his line, which he cleverly turns round. But because it's so thin, as he turns it round, they're not pointing the right way. And my men, my cav, are practicing for the shot put, and they throw those British imp about 20 feet. Okay, as soon as I go through that thin line, I then go straight through it, don't stop to say hello. Go straight through it, go straight into the green jackets, and then I go straight along his skirmisher line. He turned his whole line backwards to face my cav, who I keep there menacingly. Ooh, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. No, I'm not, I'm just going to run away. So I run away from his men, and I engage his skirmishers. And then these 3 cav, I come in from 3 different angles on this one line, who he tries to turn round, but he isn't quick enough. I keep my men going right the way down his skirmisher line. At the same time, I move my line out of the wood, who I kept a long way back from my skirmishers. My skirmishers got blasted, but my line did not. Keeping my line a great distance from my skirmisher line ensures I do not get stray bullets hitting them. You can see now that my attacks on the Brits' rear and smashing into his thin line with my cav has completely routed most of his left flank. I've completely disrupted his line, and I'm pushing my line up to engage him now. I engage his green jackets in melee, and then I swing my cav round his rear to attack that one thin line of inf. Okay, you can see that in a thin line is good for envelopment, but it's not good for cav strikes. They can't form a square quick enough. So 2 lines is perfect for my light cav to attack. You can see I've rushed an inf in with my garde du corps to finish off the goons. I put them in square formation to keep him pinned in. Okay, the Brit then tries to pull away, but I smash into him again with my light cav while shooting at him with my line inf in the flank. Okay, so this is all about speed, you see. If I'd stayed in the wood getting shot, I would have probably lost, but the fact I quickly got round his flank before he could react, then used my really light fast cav to strike at all his weak points, has turned the tide in about a minute. Okay, so the American has brought 5 long rifles, 5 Legion of the United States, and 5 lines, so that's a lot of light inf. Said has attacked him in the front, which is not good. He probably should have not attacked at all until I actually got there, but he obviously wanted some of the action as well. You can see how I'm enveloping the British guy. He's also bringing some reg of horse he had hidden in the back. I'm so glad he did not do a hammer and anvil on my rear, because I only just see it as I was looking from the other perspective down towards the British imp, and I just saw it coming to my view, so I quickly turned my line and formed a square. Luckily for me though, he goes after my skirmishers. I say luckily in quotation marks, because it really isn't too lucky, because they still kill a lot of my men, but it's best for me that they attack them and not my line, as my skirmishers weren't doing anything at that particular moment. Okay, he also attacks the 1 skirmish unit that would have routed anyway, because there's only 10 men left, so thankfully the impetus of his charge is negated. I then run my skirmishers through some stakes to skewer his cav, and then I turn my 2 line round, which were facing the British imp, to attack the cav ambush. My light cav, I've still got them running around everywhere at the moment. They're very tired, so they're not doing too much damage when they hit, but they are doing a lot of damage to, well, they're just disrupting, I should say. So I'm disrupting his line and making him form squares, doing lots of fakey attacks. Am I going to attack this American? No, I'm going to pull back round. So the American thinks I'm going to attack him. tries to form a square, but I'm not going to do that anyway. Okay, so I also he rushes my Jaegers with his line. I'm not too bothered by this. I pull them back. Now I do another fakey attack here. He's very good with forming squares, but well, that little unit doesn't obey my order. Goes straight into the squares. That's fine by me. I then change my cav angle and I go straight into this line, who he doesn't form square quick enough. Disrupt it, so he can't. So my line can now shoot at it without being shot back. The same with the other two; they had to form squares, and you can see I've now completely enveloped his line. And that was basically it. Once that I'd done that, he was dead, and then I had to just kill the American off, and it was simple. It was only the use of my light cav that I wanted to show everyone in that battle. Okay, so this is my next battle. This is against the VLRR, the Vive la Revolution Remnants. Yeah, I'm not French, so I won't be able to pronounce that properly. Okay, so they're playing as the Ottomans. Well, my opponent is anyway. I've got the same build. I'm using my Prussian build. I couldn't be asked to change my build because it was too late in the night. I couldn't be asked formulating another one, so I decided to use this, and it works again in this one. Okay, so instead of my light cav being used as effectively as they were last time, they're actually sacrificed in this one. Okay, he has a cannon on the ridge, and I again get shot the first time as I tried to rush the wood. You saw right at the beginning he drives a Siffy into me to push me back. That's fine. I just pull back, and then his Siffy gets shot, and I push my line back into the wood again. Okay, and because it's actually a small knoll, I'm actually shooting most of my volleys into the ground, but I don't care. It's just to pin him in place. I don't care if I'm not shooting any of them. Here you can see his cannon. He's got it set up on the mound. It does quite a good deal of damage to me. I think this kills about 20 men, that volley, so yep, pretty tasty. Okay, so in the back I'm trying to disrupt his line with my light cav, but this time my opponent has brought a lot of light cav of his own to disrupt my light cav. You could see at one point where I tried to sneak my light cav round the back of him, he intercepts it with a Lancer unit, and yeah, that wasn't too good for me. Okay, so I'm now trying to lure his light into my line, and so I can shoot it. So I pulverise the back of his imp, and then his light cav follow me through his imp, so they get stuck and shot by my line, and then I run into my line, and his cav follow me into my line. A little bit later on, I managed to completely destroy his left, well, sort of anyway. He reinforces it with more Janissary musketeers. That's no problem though. So that allows me to get strikes in on his rifles. You can see how I've now formed like an envelopment on his left, trying to use superior fire against his line. He's got it in a thin line again. This is the second time that my opponent has used a very thin line. So my cav are having a field day, but my imp are not, because the two line allows a greater deal of fire to be fired up on you. But it's not too good when you're getting hit by cav. Okay, so his Dutch ally comes over to assist him. I deploy stakes in the wood there to try and keep him at bay. This may seem a little hectic to you, and it is. It was for me as well when I was actually playing it. But these are battles against very good opponents, and it's very difficult to cover every aspect of the battle because there's so much stuff happening. On this side, while I was doing my envelopment, he brings in some Lancer cav and does exactly what I've been doing to him and pulverise my thin line of line. In the rear, he's got round my stake line and is now destroying my Jaegers. But thankfully, Saeed comes in with his light cav. He forces the musketeers into squares and then goes after the rifles. The rifles try to deploy stakes but aren't quick enough, so this is good for me. This allows the pressure to be taken off me for the time being, because at this stage it was extremely even, but when Saeed comes in with his light cav, it completely turns the balance in my favour, because it allows me to free up my centre to attack these flanking forces of cav and to deal with these musketeers who are flanking me. Okay, so I lure his heavy cav through like a valley. I pull my Jaegers through it and then just turn my line round to attack him, and then I also turn my Jaegers in the wood round to face this cav, because as Saeed is attacking his rifles, my Jaegers aren't being shot at, so I can deal with his cav more effectively. But he's a very good player because he doesn't stop to say hello to my men. He goes straight through them, straight through into my Jaegers and disrupts them all. So yeah, it's quite annoying. Perhaps if the Ottoman had moved up while he was doing this, it would have been slightly more effective, but overall it was a very good tactic. Okay, we're going to end with stupid general time. This is Rule 1. Never charge head-on into a loaded cannon who is loaded with canister shot. Remember this, kids. Do not do this at home. It is quite painful. So my general does the breaks the rules, charges into a cannon, gets blown up. God, that's good animations. The horse is just pushing the men along. Okay, so thanks for watching. That was the end of the battle. It was extremely hectic, that second one, but that was the only action that took place because the Dutch VLRR dropped out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good game to everyone, and until next time.